InObscuria!
Welcome back, my friends, to the InObscuria podcast, a podcast where we exhume obscure rock and punk and metal. And we put them in one of three categories: the lost, the forgotten, or the should have beens. I'm Kevin Williams, that guy over there opening a beer. Oh, it didn't really...
There's no
What's up with this Mexican beer?
There was the but not the
Yeah, you just got the crack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Robert Harrison over there.
How
are you?
Always having problems with crack.
Trouble with the crack.
Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome,
How you
everyone.
doing? Everyone. How's everybody doing out there? Oh, that's right. They can't talk back to us yet.
That's how we're doing.
That's good. That makes up for my lack of crack.
It sounded so horrible when I was editing last week's episode. I did that, so I thought I'd do it again.
Do it again, yeah. You get to edit that. That's your job. You're making more work for yourself.
The red stripe.
Yeah, we had a couple of good comments on that. Was it Jeremy Patterson was outside working in this Atlanta heat?
Yeah, I think Tony Griggs says he's a fan of these.
But Jeremy said there's tall boy Modelos.
Tall boy Modelos or red stripe?
No, Modelos.
Oh.
That'd be Alto Nino Alto.
Okay. All right. So I just have to know, because you sent me a little picture before I came over and said you were playing with your toys, and you sent me a picture of what looks like something that could really cause some damage if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's a tractor, an actual tractor.
And not just a tractor.
No, it's got the bucket on the front and it's got a backhoe.
And a backhoe, man.
So bucket on the front and a backhoe, and it's 4-wheel drive. It's a Massey Ferguson diesel.
That's dangerous for you.
Yeah. So you missed it. You were a little late, but if you got here earlier, you would have seen me out across the street practicing, because it's got
Were you backhoeing or were you?
Well, not yet. I haven't graduated to the backhoe yet. I'm still figuring out all the levers but there's a lot of levers and buttons and gears and things you turn and lock and unlock, and there's a written manual that I'll be damned if I'm going to sit down and read that. What's the fun in that? You just get out there and start pushing levers. What does this do? Oh, okay.
It makes me think of, and I know you were the same kid, so kids of the 80s especially will know this, but when I was a kid, if there was a house being built, when the construction workers would leave at night, we would ride our bikes to whatever this new house is, and we would go in it, my friends and I, and then we would go up on the equipment, the backhoes and all that stuff, and just sit there and just pretend like...
make noises.
Yeah, just pretend like we were doing it.
Yeah, I did that in my 20s also on real bulldozers when the...
And you got them to start?
Yeah, they left the keys. And so I remember this one time the guy went to lunch and I knew he'd just leave the key under the seat. And so I hopped in. It's like a Caterpillar D9, massive air-conditioned cab. Got a stereo in the cab. I mean, and it's like joysticks. They're not just big levers. It's like
that's
joysticks.
Much more exotic than the ones I remember, which were just like the Caterpillars that would sit out in the rain.
I spent I think it was 35 or 40 minutes dicking around this huge bulldozer. And he comes back from lunch early and sees me, and he gets so pissed because he's like, God damn it, Robert, it's going to take me 30 minutes to fix all the shit you just did. And I thought I was just kind of, messing around.
That was not your job.
Damage. No, that was not my job. I was not paid to do bulldozer work.
But when you were a kid, did you do the same thing? Did you ride to the house that's being built? And did you ever do like we did and borrow some lumber? We made a lot of skateboard and bike ramps.
Kevin Eugene Williams, what do you think, man? Yeah, I was building, I remember, I was 12 or 13 years old. We moved into a house that backed up to a creek. First thing I did, got out there and built a bridge to get across the creek. The creek was like 3 feet wide, but still, in my engineering mind, even at that age, I'm like,
you must create.
I need to build a bridge. I remember sitting down, sketching out the plans for a bridge, and I built it using lumber
borrowed,
maybe left over from. And once again, when I was
just
working,
sitting there, they're just saying, "Here, borrow this."
When I was working in construction years, in my 20s, when I met you, I was working for a large home builder here in Atlanta, and I lived across the street from where we were building houses. And so I would often kind of just cruise through the neighborhood after hours and on weekends to check on things because of kids like us, stealing stuff. But 9 times out of 10, it was the other homeowners. Like people I had just built a house for.
It was all the 80s kids growing up.
Yeah, and I would bust them stealing from the house next door. And it was my favorite thing to do. I'd embarrass the hell out. These guys are living in houses that were wealthy, not mansions, but McMansions.
But they can go to Home Depot.
Yeah, they had good jobs, and they're probably making making 80 to 100K a year.
Hell, they
20
probably
years
worked
ago.
for Home Depot.
Probably
here,
did. Yeah, they're
corporate's
right.
here in
Corporate
Atlanta.
headquarters is a mile away, and I would bust them and make them put the material back. Like I caught this one guy; he'd stolen a half a pallet of sod.
Oh,
and that's a lot of work.
Oh, that's also not cheap.
And he was like, "Oh, I thought that was left over." I'm just like, "Screw you!
Sure
Put
you
it
did.
back, or I'm calling the cops." And so, yeah, I would bust people stealing stuff all the time. So, yeah, as a kid, I'm sure you and I pilfered a few $100s worth of lumber for skateboard ramps.
Well, you know,
whatever,
we were
tree houses.
We were outside. We didn't have devices.
Nope.
So what else were we going to do? We had to build stuff,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to give us lumber. So we
No,
had to
my
go
dad's not
borrow
going to
it.
buy me lumber for that.
No.
He's like, just go over there and take out of the trash pile.
I call it, just it was a learning opportunity.
Yes, it was. We didn't have to
an
go to school to
engineering
learn
opportunity.
carpentry.
Exactly.
We did that, man. We lived that life.
And the big piles, big sand piles when they were putting in the bricks, those are the best to go play on those big sand
Well, I think I've
piles.
told you this story. My dad told me one summer, he's like, I bought you something and it's going to be delivered in a truck tomorrow. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I bought you something that's being delivered in a truck tomorrow and it's for you. It's a big truck. And he
How
wouldn't
old
tell
were
me.
you?
Oh, that was in Pensacola, so I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Very excited. Truck's coming. My friend Russell and I sat on the curb because he didn't tell me what time. He's like, it's going to be sometime tomorrow morning.
Didn't tell you what it was.
Nope. I swear we sat on the curb waiting in anticipation for like 2 hours. And all of a sudden, here comes a dump truck down the street, backs up, dumps a load of dirt in our front yard. And he bought it to kind of level out the yard. We just moved into this house.
But first,
We were, and the funny part is how excited we were. We were not disappointed that it was a load of dirt.
that's a load of dirt.
Yeah, and we played in that till
King of the
it was,
hill.
it's pitch black dark, and making
yeah.
tunnels in it. And eventually, we spread out half the pile just by playing in it. And my dad was smart. Get the kids out there and play in it, and we ended up spreading the dirt for him.
He did exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, we didn't realize that was work.
Smart man, your father.
that was our upbringing. I don't know if I can say the same thing for a lot of kids these days, but God Almighty, that was the best way to grow up.
Well, kids don't really ride bikes in neighborhoods anymore
No.
that I can tell.
No.
So you're missing out if a house is going up in a neighborhood. We used to ride our bikes there after the guys left.
Yeah, it's
Right.
6 o'clock.
So you get there at dusk. You still have some light. You can go through and explore the house, and almost kill yourself. And the floors aren't there, and you're still walking up on the
Yeah, there's no
beams.
safety rails. There's no
No.
guardrails back there. And OSHA didn't exist, I don't think.
And then, like I said, we would borrow some lumber that we intended on giving back at some point.
We just borrowed it.
Just borrowed
I'll
it.
put it back when we're done with the skateboard.
You
Half
can
pipe.
have it back after the house is done.
Yeah. I never actually built a half pipe, but we built some ramps for bicycle
Yeah, we
jumps.
just did blasting ramps.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
BMX, like
that was the best.
obstacle course kind of ramps.
No helmets.
Oh, no. We
No-
didn't believe in helmets.
no Dane
I did
Bramage
have-
at all.
I did have knee pads, though,
Oh, you're smart.
after I had, I've got the
a
scar
wipeout.
still to show.
One step past the strawberry, road rash, and then actual just damage.
So what are you going to do with that thing?
I don't know. I've got a couple of small jobs, and after that, if you need landscaping done, let me know. I'll come drive it around. I pretty much just drove it around today for like an hour playing like I did when I was 8 years old, so it was fun.
Did the dog fart?
No, is that me?
No, it's definitely dog smell.
I don't smell great. I mean, I've been outside all day.
He's kind of looking like kind of guilty over there. So
Also, he's sitting across the room. That's the key. If he's not here amongst us, he's like, I got to get out of here. Yeah, with it being 90-ass degrees outside, I'm probably not smelling the best either.
well, anything else go on with you last week that you need to inform our listeners about?
The Garden of Eden is starting to really kick into gear. I got a bucket of okra and some cucumbers, and the tomatoes are about to ripen up. So it's a cool time of the year. We get to go out and eat stuff that I...
Does that mean I need to press a
Nah,
button?
because I didn't really...
No, you
I
didn't.
really,
No
nah,
concoctions?
Nah, I just ate it. I just cooked it and ate it. There's nothing exciting about that. It was delicious, but nothing creative. I want to save that for the special arrangements that I make up there.
I think by the end of the summer, as you're getting all of your harvest in, that we should have an episode where we do it like a cooking episode. Like we are up in the kitchen doing the episode. Maybe we'll have some
That's
songs.
genius. I'll whip us up something as we're talking. I can have the headphones on.
Yeah, man.
Excellent. We can do a Waffle House night.
Little emerald like party.
Like use all the colloquialisms and euphemisms and famous sayings that all these guys have.
Let us know if that's something we should do, everyone listening. If we don't hear from
And
you,
what
we'll
we should
probably
cook.
do it anyway.
Yeah, well, let me know what I should cook.
All right. So nothing else going on, huh?
Nah, just...
All right.
Good
Well,
stuff.
in that case, after you steal some wood from a...
What the hell did you just say?
Well, let me rephrase. After you borrow some wood from a house being
Quotation
erected
marks,
near you,
borrow.
go listen to Pot of Thunder, Cobras and Fire, Growing Up Rock, Slamfest Podcast, Decibel Geek, A to Z Radio, Metal Up Your Podcast, The Hustle, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, Sean Geekin, Fast Fret Podcast, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, The Kiss Room, Ages of Rock, Retro Zest Podcast, The Synaptic Empire, and don't forget about Monty.
Hey, it's Monty.
Monty's Rockcast. Come visit us at InObscuria.com. Like us, share us, recommend us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Leave us a review. All we need are 2 words and 5 stars. That's all we need. It's super simple.
We got a system.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of work. It doesn't take a lot of your time.
We need, about 3 of those in the next week. That'd make us super happy if we could do that.
Just volume.
2 words, 5 stars.
Yep.
Easy.
Done.
So, with that, this past weekend, Robert, my neighbors, who are much younger than me, 2 doors down.
That's going to happen now a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the guy next to me is a lot older.
Okay,
so
you used to be the young guy when you moved in, and now
Yeah.
you're like me. You're like, oh, I'm the elder now.
Yeah, so I'm assuming these folks are in their low 30s.
Ooh, really young.
That age.
Yeah.
And they had a ripping party the other night out in the backyard. A lot of their friends over, and I could hear, you can tell when it's a beer drinking, a swilling party.
Is there a lot of woo?
A lot of
that.
A lot of male making weird cat call sounds. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then a lot of laughter, hyena-like from women.
Because we never did that, did we?
No,
we
of course
never
not.
bothered our neighbors there in that Creekwooded Vinings townhome complex that we lived in.
Never, no. But anyway, it's that time of year. It's summer, man. You're going to have parties, the block parties, and house parties, and that's what they were having. They had the Christmas lights, the white lights strung up outside. It was
the cliche bistro lights.
Yes.
I am white and I am tasteless. That's
Yes.
all I can do is put
That's
up
why
these
we
lights.
have them at our house, too.
Yes.
And
don't get me started on those.
so they had those strung up. You could tell, and again, there's a lot going on. You can hear the bottles and the beers and whatever they were drinking, whatever the libations were, they were flowing, and the beer pong was being played. You could tell that there were games going on because there were some people that were really into it, and they were letting you know that they're winning.
But you weren't invited?
No.
See, that's their mistake.
I'm not part of
but
their
still,
crew.
you have to give the courtesy invite. Then you can't really complain if you don't go.
No, I wasn't going to complain, but we
learned that.
A lot of loud kind of ex-frat guy sounds and cackling drunk women sounds, so I knew they were having fun. But the one thing that was missing it's just a given that at a party, you're going to have music.
Yes. It's the
worst. I never heard a single beat, not even like a shitty pop or hip hop song going on, not even background music. I didn't hear anything other than these people just kind of rip roaring drunk and having fun.
I don't understand how people do that. It's just bizarre.
What kind of party is that, man?
I went to a dinner party at my friend's house about 3 weeks ago, and it was that way. It was great friends, great house, everything's fine. There was no music. And to me, it made everything awkward because there was lots of dead space in between the conversations. It just was weird.
It is very weird. Like, you were a master party thrower back in the day, and you kind of still are, but you used to really throw a lot of
different
parties.
kinds of parties now. But
there's always music. You have to have.
It's in my family. My great grandfather, Grancer Harrison, he was known for his parties, so I had to continue that tradition.
So I wanted so badly to remedy that situation because I do have quite a bit of wattage at my house that I could have pointed their way. But the family was home, so I couldn't be a total dickhead.
Right.
If they would have been gone, that would have happened. The Marshall stacks would have come out, but I decided not to. But I'm just thinking it's a summer party for me, for you, especially in the summer. You got the drinks flowing. It's like party rock, man. You want some party rock, like 80s glam metal, or something that's light and party and beer drinking music.
We always had a theme. There would be different playlists, from funk to rock or a mix of that. Beastie Boys, something fun.
And then it hit me, okay, these people are in their 30s and maybe they don't really know what party music is, like old school good party music. Maybe the newer stuff just doesn't work.
Dude,
I don't know.
Let me tell you, as somebody that hosts weddings at their house, I have heard 15 or 20 different 30-something white people wedding party playlists. it's all 80s music with a little bit of early 90s.
That's
it.
That's kind of what I would think that might be the problem.
The Final Countdown, Bon Jovi, all this
stuff that they didn't grow up with.
No,
they were
not
born
at all.
after
Way
the,
after, yeah.
the fact. So I was thinking maybe I should beam some over with the wattage that I had, but I didn't. I was just thinking about it, and then I thought, well, they're younger. Maybe they just don't know. But what if there were newer stuff out there, like bands that are out there now, their age, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, but playing that style of party rock? Why wouldn't they be into that? Why wouldn't they be playing that?
I don't know if there are any bands.
Is there? Yeah. So that's
party
the question.
Rock,
are there
genre.
bands? Are there bands still playing summer party rock? Is that a thing?
Now,
anymore?
there's older bands that are still around, but bands, let's just say in the last 10 years, limit to that, last 10 years, off the top of my head, new bands that are considered party rock. I don't know.
Well, Robert,
you're going to enlighten me?
Today, we're going to enlighten you.
What a coincidence.
This is episode
I'm glad I showed
up.
up.
You were just thinking about this.
I was just thinking about that now in my own house.
It's like I didn't bait you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 187, Beneath the Hair, Volume 8, Forgotten Glam Metal, New Growth. 2023.
A little stubble.
A little bit of stubble coming out there. Yeah. Yeah. So these are all artists releasing albums this year.
Okay.
Some of them, these are just singles, but the albums will be out later. But we're going to dive into some, you could consider it glam metal.
Yeah.
Based on glam metal. Some of these bands have been around longer. Some of these bands are brand new. But these are bands that are playing the style of music that you want to open a beer to. Hey, dude, let's party. And play outside when you have friends over.
In fact, I just remembered you, when I met you and we started throwing these really righteous parties back in the day in our 20s, you made me some CDs. And I think I still have those. And I think it says Dance Mix, which it was our version of dance music, which was a little bit of funk, some Beastie Boys, as I mentioned earlier, and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. You are an expert in this.
This is, yes. Thank you. Thank you for that, for giving me my expert status. So we have covered this topic. We've done this now 8 times with this classification of rock music. So Beneath the Hair, hair band, glam metal. So it has had a resurgence in the last 20 years. In particular, I'm thinking The Darkness, kind of helped kickstart that 20 years
really
ago.
Did.
And ever since then, the entire country of Sweden has stepped up and provided us with a bunch of music. So a lot of these bands are influenced by bands that were like 2 and 3 times removed from the influence. So it's still going. And these are just great songs. So let's dive into the very first one. The first band is a brand new band whose first album will be released on July 28th.
Is it a splinter group of Thunder Mother?
It is not. It is not. And there's no reason to take off your horn helmet right now. No, this is a good old American band here. Now, this band does feature some former guests of the show. So these are some Nashville ringer guys that were introduced to me years ago via the Decibel Geek podcast. And that band, Kiss. There's your first Kiss connection with a K. Yes, this band was on the Kiss cruise several times. In fact, the Kiss cruise that you and I were on together, they were in one of the bands featured on that cruise. I'm talking about Ryan Cook, Jeremy Asbrook, Philip Schaus. They've now formed a new group called Rock City Machine Company, but we know them from Rockin' Pod. When we interviewed Jeremy and Phil, they were in a band with Ryan then called The Talisman, which was doing like an acoustic thing where they were covering a lot of Kiss songs and some of their own stuff. And I saw them outside a parking lot during the pandemic here in Atlanta. That was like the only place you could go, and you had to mask up and watch them in the parking lot.
You had to mask up outside. Oh my God.
Yeah. But a lot of people know them from Gene Simmons' solo band.
Yeah.
Ace Frehley's solo band currently. So after they finished with Gene said, you can have my band, and Ace took him. And also, Phil happens to be in Accept. He's one of the guitarists in Accept now. But these are all Nashville.
So we know 2 of Accept's members.
We've actually talked to 3 of Accept.
Okay, I know 2.
Yeah. And then we talked to Jeremy and Phil at the Rockin' Pod together. Again, they were doing the Talisman then.
2021?
2021, yep. Now, I think I pointed out before, but Ryan, who we haven't talked to on the podcast, but I've known Ryan for quite a while, I gave him a shirt, a red shirt with Gene Simmons' face on an Elvis Presley body from like the 70s with the white jumpsuit. He was wearing that and it said Kiss Rocks Vegas. He was wearing that shirt that I gave him when he had the meeting with Gene Simmons, and Gene asked them to be his backing band.
Well, we know.
And we know why they got the gig.
We know that now.
Yeah, we actually absolutely know that.
Oh, speaking of Kiss, just to derail this, how we've talked about the creepy songs, the songs that we consider creepy now that 40 years ago they weren't creepy.
Christine 16.
Yeah, and there's, other bands had, Winger had a 17, but Christine 16 is kind of the benchmark as far as creepiness.
I saw you coming out of school that day.
Yeah. So guess who else has a really creepy song that I just realized this week? Billy Idol, Sweet 16. And it's creepy. I was going through his albums and hit the first two albums, like, these are really great, so many hits. And then his third album wasn't quite as popular. And then that song, and I'm listening to it, doesn't work. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't finish this song. And I looked down and I
gotta go take a shower.
Yeah, it's like Spotify gives you the lyrics, and I'm scrolling through just to make sure I heard what I heard. I'm like, oh, wow, this is bad. So if you haven't heard that, I don't know the name of his third album, but look that up. And it's something about Sweet 16 and
Whiplash Smile. Was that the one?
I couldn't tell you. It just streamed after the first two albums, so I don't know the name of it. But anyway, just to throw that out there, that Kiss is not alone in their creepiness.
Okay,
apparently.
well, back to Rock City Machine Company. They're not creepy.
Not creepy. Cool
not
guys.
Creepy.
Cool guys.
Very cool guys. And I'll mention that Ryan was also back in the 90s. He was in a band called Hair of the Dog, which was a band kind of doing glam metal, 80s style glam metal in the late 90s. Obviously, that didn't work out as well for them. Because
bad timing. Good concept, bad timing.
Everyone was not quite ready for the return at that point. When did you, because you were not a fan, but you kind of got into it later, when did you start to get into the glam metal, kind of back into it, at least? Early 2000s? That's when I got back
I was
in.
always into but I probably like the power ballads a little bit more, and as I play guitar, those were more popular for me because I could play, like, Dead or Alive, that type of stuff. Them. Yeah, and so I got in, and then it kind of snowballed, and by the time I met you, and we started playing.
So late 90s.
Late 90s, 98, 99, the nostalgia started kicking in. Yeah. And so even though I wasn't into them back then, it brought back those memories.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it became cool for me. So you and I were pushing that. We were doing covers and stuff, and we were early adopters.
It feels like somewhere around 2000 is when all of the greatest hits packages started coming out, because people were still buying CDs. And to me, it feels like that's when everybody started to accept that kind of stuff again.
And when did The Darkness, when did they come out?
That would have been like 2002, 2003, I think.
So yeah, it all jives. Right about then was when it started
about
becoming
20
cool
years
again.
Ago. Yeah.
It was ironic when we would play hair band songs, our version of it. It was kind of ironic, weird, but just a few years later it became cool again. Right. I think about 2003 or 4, the Bon Jovi cover band, Slipper When Wet, it's a tribute band. They came out, I think, about that time.
Slippers are wet or slippery when wet?
Slippery when wet.
Okay, I thought you said slippers are wet.
Well, sometimes you pee on yourself. No, Slippery When Wet. They're a tribute band. And now it's funny because they've been around almost longer than Bon Jovi's been around.
What the hell did you just say?
Were around back then, but they've made a career out of just being a tribute band.
There's a lot of that now.
Yeah, now they're everywhere.
And these guys, the way they got the show with Gene Simmons is they were on the Kiss cruise with a group they had called Big Rock Show. Mm-hmm. And they were on, I think, several cruises in a row, like 4 or 5. The one that we were on, Kiss Cruise 5, was the last one that they played on as the Big Rock Show, because after that they got the Gene Simmons gig.
Yeah.
But Big Rock Show was basically all the greatest hits of the hair bands. Mm-hmm. And they did a great job of it. And now they have a new band called Rock City Machine Company. And like I said, their album is coming out at the end of this month, end of July of 2023. But they have 2 singles out, and they both kick ass, and I can't wait for this to come out. And so I think it's very appropriate that we open tonight with their song, Summer Song.
Spinning heads around, man, she looks so fine.
That dovetails perfectly with today because, first of all, that reminds me of more like a David Lee Roth solo album. But today I was out doing stuff, Robert stuff, and I just had that feeling. I'm like, it's summertime. It's really hot outside. Oh yeah. I had to pull up my favorite summertime album, 5150. Relive the summer of 1987. Hot summer nights and my Camaro.
Yeah.
So I pulled that out and listened to that and just getting all nostalgic. Oh my God, that whole album makes me think of 1987, which is a great thing. That was a great
Michael
summer.
Anthony's best vocal performance was on that album. I think when Sammy came in, he's like, man, I got to up my game even more.
Yeah, because Sammy could actually sing.
Because we can really harmonize really well. And man, he is so high
it's
on those
amazing.
songs.
Yeah, I can't even come close. In the car, I'm glad I got the windows up because I'm like 2 octaves down from him singing along to it.
And I think that is exactly what this song is an ode to. It's
trying to capture that feeling.
That whole vibe of mid 80s. There's a little bit of 70s vibe in there too, which is kind of their thing. But man, they nailed it. That is what I should have put on the other night and just blasted towards that audience.
This is party music.
Hey, dude, let's party.
Yes, put this on. You can't be yelling and partying down without something behind it.
We had the best party music as always, but either you or me, we had it grooving.
All right, so let's move on to another good party song, and this is a band that you mentioned to me about a month or two ago and said, hey, we got to play that band. I heard them and I like them.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, because I already had the album.
Easy. I'll suggest more things that you have.
I don't know if you know this, though. This band happens to be from your neck of the woods, where you grew up. This is a
neck of the woods?
band from the Florida Panhandle.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that too many times.
This is a band called Gunshine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you know they were from Florida?
No, I had no idea. What part? Does it say what part?
It just said, their bio just says the Florida Panhandle. It doesn't say exactly where. It does say that the singer originally was in Miami.
Yeah.
And then I guess in hooking up. So what happened was they conceived and put this band together during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. These guys were all in other bands who mainly were touring, and that was their source of income. And then the pandemic hits and they have no source of income. And so they've got a lot of spare time. The singer starts just writing music and he says, I want to put together that type of old school and kick-ass band that's, melodic, but rockin', fun, everything's not too serious. And that's what they did. And they put this band together and they ended up, I guess, all convening in the Florida Panhandle. So that's officially where they're from.
Okay. That generally consists of Pensacola on one end over to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Destin's on the coast and Fort Walton Beach. That's all my neck of the woods there. But yeah, the Panhandle, that's kind of the general area.
Not too far from Alabama.
No, we have the same accent. All Panhandle residents that were born and raised there have the same southern accent as like South Alabama, South Georgia. It's a region that we're all rednecky.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. I think you perfectly nailed it. Yes. Now, the singer in this band, Jordan Benson, is actually, according to their bio, is a distant cousin to Elvis Presley.
That's pretty distant.
I don't know how distant it is, but Elvis has been dead since the late 70s.
Yeah, he hadn't been procreating that much lately.
So, I don't know. This band has one full length and an EP. The EP was released this year. That is the recording that I have, and that's what we're going to be playing from. And this summer, I checked out to see where they're playing, and mostly East Coast dates. I don't think they're doing a world tour yet, but let's hope that they get a little more popularity and that they're able to start visiting other places, because I think this band's really good. They give me, I'm not going to say what vibe they give me. I'm going to let you listen to it, and you make your own decision on what kind of vibe you get. But you kind of already know this band. But let's hear their song Checkmate from the EP of that same name that came out this year, Gunshine.
Inside you about to get pinned, I'm the king of the night. Take me down, I think I need a whole lot of love and wanna be my queen. I'm not looking to date,
He studied at the Vince Neil School of Rock Vocals. That's awesome. young Vince Neil. Let's just put it, the early Vince Neil School of Vocals.
Before he just turned the mic over to everybody else.
Yeah, when he actually sang. But then it's more like Nuno Betancourt guitars versus Mick Mars.
Yep.
So it's a nice mix. And that more bluesy stuff that you would find with whatever Black and Blue or some weird, the offshoot hair bands that were like level 3 and 4s down a few flights.
But brand new.
Yeah, that's new.
I mean, this is new music. This is a young band. And so exactly, you nailed the Nuno part. I'm like, man, that sounds like Extreme mixed with Slaughter singing.
Slaughter. That's Up All Night. Oh my God, that is killing me.
It's very Up All Night kind of
I
styling.
couldn't come up with the name. I was like, what is that? What is that? Oh, yeah.
But then it also reminded me of another Florida band, Saigon Kick.
Saigon.
So, which all of those bands, early 90s, late 80s, like,
you got
but this is 2023.
Super high singing lead singer. You got the shredder guitar. You got some bluesy riffs thrown in there.
Yeah.
It had all the big harmonies.
Some sing-along
stuff.
Shouted out choruses.
Checking tomatoes. I was doing that today. I was checking tomatoes. I was like, nope, they're not ripe yet.
Nice.
I don't know what that's about, but that was cool.
Drinking music. This might be later in the evening on the party.
Oh,
this song, because it's a little sleazy. Like, I could also see this played in a strip club.
Hey, dude, let's party.
Ooh.
Not that I've ever frequented.
No, I've seen them on TV.
I've heard about them.
Yeah, back when they would show them on TV.
I literally haven't been to one in 25 years. But
Is that still a thing? Do
I
people go to
don't
strip
know.
clubs?
I'm a playa. I know.
Is it not cool to go to?
I don't know, but I could see this music going over, at least from what I remember.
Atlanta was ahead of the curve. We had an equal opportunity strip club. Do you remember the Cornet Club?
I thought it was Swingin' Richards.
No, that was a whole the other side.
Oh, that was just gay.
That was just on the other side. No, Cornet Club over on Roswell Road in Sandy Springs.
Oh, that's right.
When you went in, if you went to the left,
you could see guys or girls.
There was the Swingin' Richards. You go to the right, then
that's
it was
right.
the ladies. So you could go either one, but it's equal opportunity. So
That's
we
right.
were ahead of the time 20 years ago.
That's right. It was a pronoun appropriate
Yes, exactly.
strip club.
You want they or them, either one. To the left is them, to the right is they.
You're right, man. We were way ahead of that curve.
Atlanta.
Wow. All right. So we mentioned just now Extreme. So there are some older school bands that are putting out some damn good records this year and kind of having a bit of a comeback. Mm-hmm. Extreme being one of them. They released 6 earlier this summer, and I think it's really, really good. The first half of the album is proper, amazing, Extreme. The second half of the album is a little more experimental, a little bit more poppy. Mm. But the first half of the album pulls it through. But it's a really good release. Winger released an album this year, and it's damn good. It's like really good. If you've never given Winger a shot outside of what you think of them or what you know of them, those are like badass musicians. Yeah. All of those guys in that band can play their asses off. They're really good.
And Kip has that sexy smile.
The guy, he's an incredible bass player. He's an incredible singer. Like, you get past the creepy song.
Yeah, just skip that.
Skip that one. But yeah, so Winger put out an album. There are other bands out there putting out albums who are from the era.
That song is creepy, but God, I love that guitar riff.
Oh, yeah.
I love the guitar riff.
It's Red Beach.
If they could just change the lyrics, I could actually listen to it again.
Yeah, maybe they should do a version for 2023.
She's only 32.
Just new
like
lyrics.
32, yes. That's in my wheelhouse right there. Right. Thank you. I can handle that.
Age appropriate.
Yeah, it's age appropriate for me. Not for other guys in their 50s, but for me, it's okay.
Well, here's another band that's from back in the day that put out a killer single this year. We're hoping that the album's coming out, but for right now, we got a single, and this is our at their top. They're at the top of the Welsh glam metal bands.
Ooh. All 3 of them.
The top, yeah. I don't know how many other Welsh glam metal bands there are, but they're at the top. We're talking about Tiger Tails. We've played Tiger Tails 5 times. I looked it up 5 times.
That puts it probably in the top 5
episodes.
bands of the bands we've like Marillion and some other bands that we've played many times.
Well, a lot of these other bands we dedicated an episode, so therefore they have lots of songs because they have.
Oh, so 5 different episodes.
We have played 5 different episodes, 5 different songs.
That may be the
Tiger
top
Tails.
2 or 3 then.
They are probably right there with Thunder Mother.
Thunder Mother, yeah, true. We bumped them a lot.
So it tells you what I think about Tiger Tails. I love this is the Welsh Poison, and they almost have kind of a punk edge. Lots of lineups over the years. Pepsi Tate, they have great names too.
Pepsi Tate?
Pepsi Tate, he died of cancer in 2007, so Jay Pepper is the only original main dude still in the band, but he put together a killer version of this band for this year, and they put out a great song. This is a beer drinking song for sure.
Hey, dude, let's party.
Called You Can't Stop the Rock. In 2023, you're putting out a song called You Can't Stop the Rock.
Apparently that's true. It's still going.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they're great, man. I love them. Absolutely love it. And they've been doing a lot of touring this summer, mainly in England and Europe. But maybe one day, I don't know, maybe they'll get back over to the States and we can see them. It'd be a lot of fun. So this is, again, a single, and it was released about 2 months ago. It definitely harkens back to their 80s stylings. The last time we played them, it was in that 90s. They didn't quite know what they were going for era.
Yeah.
But this is really them hitting on who Tiger Tails are as a glam metal band.
Best ending ever. I love that.
They hit everything.
Everything. Checked every box.
Yeah, kitchen sink was thrown into that one.
There, the little tribute to Quiet Riot.
I love that,
middle.
right?
I was like, is that a tribute? It's kind of subtle. It wasn't
Total
exactly.
tribute to Quiet Riot.
Dun,
little
dun,
Metal
dun,
Health right there, the
dun.
beginning and the middle.
God, that was a catchy song. I love that. It was glam metal with the emphasis on metal.
Mm-hmm.
There was but there was very little blues thrown in there.
Yeah.
Looked like the other songs. And I think this is more my style. I never got into the hairband stuff very much originally, and later on I find myself gravitating to this style, the heavier stuff. Motley Crue, sleazier.
Yeah.
That's more my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I hear you. I love the sleazier stuff too. And they have like I said, kind of a punk edge, kind of a roughness to them.
I would have loved to have been able to play music like that. We weren't that type of band, but that's what I wanted to write. I really did. I knew I didn't have the vocal ability, but...
Also, you can't play this kind of music and not have that look.
Yeah.
Like, it just wouldn't work unless you have the look that goes along with it, and you and I don't...
Nah, we never had the long hair.
That was not us, man.
Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot and it's itchy.
It's
it
dedication.
Just gets in the way.
You play this kind of music, you have the look, that's dedication.
Yeah. That's really, you got to live that. So I
lot of
respect
layers.
it, but it sounds fun. And the explosion at the end, I'm fond of those. So.
Oh, man. It's like supreme cheese.
Yeah.
It is the most supreme cheese I've ever tasted. This
It
Tiger
really
Tail
is
song.
gourmet.
Love
Just
it.
gourmet.
Absolutely love it. Doing it right.
Yes.
The old guys, showing the young guys how it's done still. But now we're going to go to a new band. And this is an album that I literally just put on this playlist about 2 days ago because I saw LC from Cobras and Fire, our friend, Loose Cannon. He posted over the weekend that this band had an awesome song title and an awesome album, and that it was something we needed to check out. And so I checked it out.
That's cool because we get most of our content from them.
We do. We just steal from them.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
All we do,
We don't have to steal from that many podcasts, them and a couple
all
others.
the people that we mention at the front of the episode, we mention them because really we just steal their content.
Yeah, we're just a compilation of all those great podcasts.
All the best stuff from them. But I did check this out. I had heard of this band before with their previous second album that came out, I don't know, a year or two ago. And it didn't really grab me. It didn't do much for me. And then seeing his praise on this, I thought, okay, I'll go check it out because I thought the song title was kind of clever and different. The song that we're going to play is Free All the Dancers.
I agree.
I'm like,
make them all free because right now you got to pay for them.
It's like, okay, we'll check that out. And I checked it out and I absolutely loved it. Have more of an 80s vibe, yet this band is considered to be part of Nowaka. They're part of the new wave of classic rock. I don't know that I would really label them that. But then as I was thinking about that, I would say this is more of an 80s, like retro 80s thing. But people our age may not think of that as classic rock.
Yeah.
But people that are
it's all
younger
a matter
than
of
us,
perspective.
classic rock to them starts probably in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So
God.
So I see where people
Son
could
of a
label them this.
Yeah, sure.
To me, they sound like a newer version of GNR. So it's like that era of mid to late 80s kind of, sleazy metal, but it's got that kind of 70s vibe to it. They put out their debut in 2017. It was released on their own. Then they got signed to Earache, and they released an album called Mojo Skyline. That's the one I listened to, and it didn't hit me. I'm probably going to go back and try that again. A lot of podcasters back in 2021 were talking about this band and how good it was. But
Tried in a different mood.
Yeah, maybe
different
that's
place,
what it was.
different car.
It's all about how it hits you at the time.
Yeah.
So they just released this third album on July 7th. It's brand new. Again, LC's recommendation, and it was a good one, LC. I really, really dig it. I've been listening to it all week. We're going to play the song that he recommends, and let's see what you think. Here's Free All the Dancers from The Dust Coda, a London-based band, and the new album's called Loco Paradise.
I guess they needed to fill in a few more seconds. Just leave the mic open. We'll just record people bullshit and whatever.
It's like they started with Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, and they ended with GNR Lives, the acoustic album.
That's a great way to look at it. Now, the guitar work and stuff, I definitely heard the GNR. The vocals, I heard more early Chris Cornell.
Oh, wow.
Like
okay.
when they were a metal band.
Yeah.
Something like that. So the GNR didn't apply to all of it, but you can definitely hear it.
It's mainly the slash type guitar phrasing
it was
at
just
the beginning.
Very gritty.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Such a cool band. And I definitely see where they put them in the new wave of classic rock, but they definitely work as a party beer drinking band as well.
Hey, dude, let's party.
Really good stuff. Yes, I think it's time for a swig ourselves.
Don't gargle with beer.
The beer's flowing like wine.
Don't do that.
Whatever that means. Okay. The next artist is like fine wine himself. He just gets better with age.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old guy.
Until he just turns to vinegar.
Right. At some point, he'll spoil.
Nice balsamic.
I've talked about this guy in the context of some other bands in the past. He was part of MSG with Michael Schenker. Mm-hmm. He was part of
Macaulay Schenker?
Yes, he was part of Macaulay Schenker.
Is that right? Did I get something right?
You got this right. Yes.
Wow.
I am talking about Robin Macaulay. He was also in Black Swan. He's an Irish singer who joined the Michael Schenker Group in 1986, and that prompted Michael to say, well, we'll just rename it Macaulay Schenker Group because you're a badass.
Yeah.
And you deserve to have your name in there, too.
That always has confused me, and now I understand why.
Yeah.
Because I never know if it's the Michael Schenker Group, Macaulay Schenker Group, just MSG. And then MSG is bad. Everybody's like, no, MSG, no MSG. I don't want MSG.
No, MSG is good.
MSG is good now.
It's really good. You should listen to all of those albums.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's really confusing is I went to the Michael Schenker Fest about 4 or 5 years ago, and it featured all of the MSG singers, so the Michael Schenker Group singers, as well as the Macaulay Schenker Group. So Gary Barden, Graham Bonnet, Doogie White, and Robin Macaulay all were on stage at one point in time during the night. It was
choir.
Awesome. It was so cool. So Michael Schenker was playing some UFO songs, and they all came out, and they each got a turn singing his UFO songs. And then
Lights Out.
Doctor, all that stuff. And before that, they played he would do 2 or 3 songs with each of the singers from their era.
That'd be pretty cool. A lot of variety.
Band. It was so cool. I was so happy to see that. And actually, Stephen Michael from Growing Up Rock, he and his wife Jen were there. Watched that with me. That was fun. Good people, good crowd, good band, and this guy is just a great singer. He was in a couple of bands that we have yet to play on this program, which we'll get into, but he was in a band called Grand Prix, and a band called Far Corporation, and another band called GMT, all very obscure bands to us in the old Ireland area, probably not as much, but anyway. He's had 3 solo albums, and he just released his second in the last 2 years. He had a health scare after that Michael Schenker Fest. When I saw him, I think they thought he was going to die. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was really bad. And then he found a way and got over it and put out his second solo album. I think the first one came out in the 90s. He put out the second one in 2021, and then we got another one this year. And the guy really is like fine wine. I mean, the guy's voice is just on fire. It sounds exactly the same.
That does not happen in the metal world.
No.
There's a few examples, but not many.
A lot of these guys, they have to drop the tuning or, alternate tunings or, some way for them to...
Or just completely fake it.
Or they just fake it and have a lot of chorus and whatnot. But I don't hear it here. I hear this guy sounding exactly like he did back in Macaulay Schenker. So see what you think. Here's a song from Alive, which came out again just a few months ago. This is a song called Fading Away.
Only
Brand new.
Holy crap.
Sounds the same.
Which is great. It's a good thing to sound the same in this situation right here.
Still kicking ass.
All these new bands we've mentioned need to hire him as their producer because that's how you make a rock sound right there. The vocals are amazing.
The king of choruses.
Yeah.
You can tell, right away it's Robin McAuley because when he hits that chorus, you're like, yeah, that's Robin McAuley.
Just the layers on the chorus, perfect. Not too many, not too few, just perfect.
And it just sounds like him.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know anybody else that sounds like him. That's a very unique voice. Love it. Check that out. Robin McAuley's still kicking ass. Okay. Now we need to go back to a brand new band.
Okay.
A band that has only put out EPs. They don't even have a full album out.
That new band smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still smell that. It's a new band.
It's not Dio.
And to this band, I just say, g'day, fire truck.
What?
It's an Aussie band, releasing their second EP in August, but we got a couple of teasers already, a couple of singles. A band from Sydney. There's literally no information on them other than just shows that they're playing. And
have we called Craig?
Some videos they have.
Yeah, Craig, run over there, knock on their door, find out, because I'm sure he's just like 3 miles from these guys, right?
And they're right in your wheelhouse, pun intended. They're called Big Red Fire Truck.
Big Red Fire Truck.
Big Red Fire Truck.
I don't have one.
From Australia.
I've got a medium-sized fire truck. It's not that big. And then I got a tiny one.
They have the look and sound of the darkness and or kind of late 80s Sunset Strip stuff.
Okay.
And it's like super fun Aussie music. It's like Aussie pub rock.
Aussie, not Aussie.
I said Aussie.
It sounds like you said Aussie music. I'm looking at album cover with Ozzy looking at me in a drunken stupor. So sorry, I'm
drinking
confused.
beer. Sorry.
Hey, dude, let's party.
But anyway, I think they have the sound that we need for our party. Our beer, my beer's empty. Second beer's empty already.
Second beer. Mm-hmm. Look out!
Look out, people. Yeah, I got to drive. Maybe that'll be it.
Cops waiting for you at the street corner.
Right. Again.
He knows you. He's like, Wednesday night, Kevin's coming right by here about 9:45.
Yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and play some Big Red Fire Truck. This is from their EP, Trouble in Paradise. This is the song, Trouble in Paradise.
be just like living in paradise.
If only they had 2 tickets.
Exactly, or 2
paradise.
tickets. Yeah, there's a lot of references, but they they checked off all the boxes. They looked at the spreadsheet that we sent them, and like, here's all the things you have to include: the guitarmonies and the harmonies and all that stuff. It's perfect.
You know, one of our favorite bands is visiting the Australian continent very soon. That would be the Night Flight Orchestra.
Lucky bastards.
And I think they should hire this band as their opening act.
I think that's
Don't you think that would be a deadly combination?
I'll send them
Amazing.
a telegram.
Yeah, yes, send them a telegram. Let them know. Oh man, so good.
Yeah.
Such a good band. Speaking of Australia, our friend Sam Spade and his band, the Midnight Devils, were just there. They just got back from their tour of Australia. They are back in Nebraska.
A long flight to go play there. I hope they had a good turnout.
I saw their last show was, I want to say, in Melbourne, and then they had to take a bus. They took a bus from Melbourne to Sydney, and then they got on the flight and flew to wherever they flew to. Like, it was a long trek back. I think it was like well over 2 days to get back to Nebraska.
I was going to say, that's not a quick bus ride, is it?
No.
It's
hundreds
and hundreds of miles.
Close, yes.
I have to go look at the map again. I forgot
Those guys are committed.
how far away it was.
But,
that's
but good on them.
That's road life.
The Midnight Devils, man. They tore up Australia, apparently.
Good.
And they're another...
Speaking of Australia, how's our friend with the Achilles heel?
You know, I have
problem?
not gotten an update from him.
We'll reach out to him before
we need to
this
reach out
episode
to
comes out. But
one Craig Elvin.
hope he's got his leg up watching TV, having a good time.
See how he's doing. All right, I have one more for you, and this is a doozy, man. This is an all-American collaboration.
Okay.
All right, we're going to put a bunch of folks together and
very patriotic. If it's all
very
American.
patriotic as well. Yes, it's we just
them
celebrated July 4th.
Nope, no foreigners around
No
here.
more foreigners.
No Europe, no Asia, no foreigners. None of those
That'd be a hell of
bands.
a tour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Opening up would be Kansas. Yeah, so this is an all-American band, and if you remember back on episode 93, you remember that one?
Yeah, that was a great episode. It was, I think we recorded on a Wednesday night, didn't we?
No, actually, well, maybe. Yes, I believe you're right. But we talked to the Metal Cowboy. Remember, we talked to Mr. Ron Keel in that episode. And since our chat back in 2021, since then...
We saw him again, but...
We did. We saw him then. We didn't get a chance to really chat with him.
No,
this
he's a
past
busy
time.
guy. Busy guy.
He had a lot going on. But since then, he's started his own label and multimedia company called RFK Media. And he signed and released albums by the band Crashing Wayward. He signed a band called The Fifth. And his Ron Keel band is also releasing material on that. Well, it's not a record company, but I guess we'll call it a record company.
A label.
He does other things. Label plus. Anyway, he has celebrated the, I guess, inception of this company by putting out a compilation album containing tracks from all the artists, which is what a lot of labels do. But it also includes a collaboration song called American Thunder.
Of course he does.
American Thunder.
That he's going to play at Sturgis.
Yep.
That was written for that one weekend or week.
Funny you say that, because Ron actually wrote this song 20 years ago, and that was that was his circuit. Still is his circuit, and that's what he does. But he wrote it 20 years ago. He finally recorded it with himself and Roy Cathy from The Fifth, so one of the bands.
Yeah.
Roy was also in a band called Cold Sweat. And in the early 90s, when Mark Ferrari left the Keel band, he formed Cold Sweat. Roy Cathy was the singer of Cold Sweat. So that's kind of how they know each other. And actually, Cold Sweat, back in 1990, I was supposed to see them because they were opening for Dio on, I believe it was the Lock Up the Wolves tour. And that show, I had tickets to that show in 1990, and they canceled it the week before the show. Lack of ticket sales.
What? That's not a perfect example of what we were talking about, how it went through some doldrums.
No.
And then
Dio, lack of tickets.
Dio.
Yeah.
And imagine, if you were around today, what a stadium he'd sell out, arenas.
Well, in my mind, he would. Maybe he'd just be playing a club, but No,
he would be playing arenas. Thank you. I said that's the way it is.
So this song is by a group, a collaboration of artists, which they call the RFK All-Stars.
Named after our former president. Rest in peace.
Yep. Or Ron F. and Keel.
Yeah, that's right.
And it features the drummer from Y&T, Mike Vanderhule. It features Rick Fox from Steeler on bass. And it has 5 different guitarists from various Ron Keel projects and The Fifth.
Which is basically what we saw the last time we saw him
Which is
on
kind of
stage.
what we saw when we went to Keel Fest in Nashville.
Lots of guitarists.
Yes. And so I don't remember if they played this song or not, but we're going to play it now. And I think it's very appropriate since we just celebrated the 4th of July here in the old United States. So here is American Thunder. America.
Praise hail, praise Dale. That's all I got to say.
You know what kind of cheese that is?
Oh, no, that's Limburger.
American cheese.
No, that is Limburger. Listen. Bring it down just a second. Let me just talk directly to Mr. Ron Keel. We enjoyed your interview, and I'm sorry that this is going to be the last time we get to interview after what I'm about to say, but you, sir, are no Kid Rock. Just don't go there.
You didn't like that little hip-hop thing in the middle?
Oh, I bet 50 of my not hard-earned dollars that somewhere on not a tour, but a show that Kid Rock comes out and sings that with him.
Yeah.
I see that
definitely has a Kid Rock
match
feel
made
to
in
it.
hell.
Yeah.
And I say that with all the love for Kid Rock, but at the same time, good God Almighty.
We love Ron Keel.
We love him, but that gentleman knows how to pander. That's not a bad business move.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was dumb to write that.
I'm glad you said that because that was exactly the word I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard a more pandering
Yes.
American song.
Let's see. Who is going to be at that show? let me write a song just for them.
But I'll tell you what.
All those 50-somethings and Harley Davidson faux leather.
Ron Keel fans.
All that.
It's all right.
And if you ride a Harley Davidson, bless your heart, that's all right. Anybody that's got to put on a costume to go to the grocery store, hey, bless your heart. Go for it. Do that. You do you, and you just have fun doing that.
But I'll tell you, if you have had quite a few of these beverages
And
that
it's
I'm holding in
hot,
my hand,
sweating your balls off, and then
and
your
it's
chaps,
it's around the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And that song comes on,
you're going.
you might
sing along with a little bit.
Yeah, you might get a little amped up.
Hey, dude, let's party.
That's equivalent to Leonard Skinner around 2018. That's something that they would come up with as their new song. At the end of the set, before they play Freebird, they're going to sneak in one of their new, quote unquote, new songs.
And
that's what you're going to hear.
They even played a little bit of the national anthem there, just to make sure you knew.
If you didn't know, that we are pandering to the most basic element of humanity. Oh my God! So yeah, sorry, Ron, but at the same time, hats off because you're going to make some bucks off of that.
Cowboy hats off.
Smart, yeah. Cowboy hats off, but bandana stays on.
We love you, Ron, but wow,
yeah. I
could not play that song.
I'm equally annoyed and impressed, like I said, because I'm a little jealous that he was, had the balls to write that, because he is going to get some money from that. So that's pretty cool.
All right. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end this evening.
Yes. Sign off from there.
Oh, the only thing we could have is an outro of
America, America. Fuck yeah! Come out again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah! Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America! Fuck yeah! So lick my butt and suck on my balls, America!
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Neil Diamond.
Oh, we could do that
Coming
too.
to America.
Oh wow. That is exactly
that's
what this
the level.
is.
That is the level of Neil Diamond pandering. Oh, Jesus. He made some bucks off of that too. So, like I said, I'm sitting here making fun of it. He cashed those checks.
We're not making fun of it. We're just celebrating
We're
the cheesiness of it.
Making light of it. Let's just say they're making light of it. He cashed the checks. Who wins in that situation?
Add that one to your 4th of July playlist, okay?
Yes, along with my handful of Roman candles. Shooting at the trains that are going by.
And until next time, people, we will see you later on the flippity flappity.